The largest dog to ever walk the earth. Unsolved mysteries. We have been awestruck by the loyalty, strength, and diversity of canines for as long as humans have known them. Breeds that defy conception have been observed, including the towering Great Danes and the muscular Mastiffs. Nevertheless, the fossil record of the Earth contains evidence of a creature that is so massive that it challenges every notion we have about man's best companion. This creature is far more extraordinary. It is not a cryptid or legend that has emerged from folklore. It is genuine. Ipicion haydeni is the name given to the largest dog to have ever walked the Earth by scientists. North America was inhabited by a diverse array of peculiar predators approximately 15 million years ago before the emergence of humans. Saber-toothed cats prowled the plains, primordial bears lumbered through forests, and massive birds stalked the grasslands. However, among them was a creature that was neither a wolf nor a cat, yet it possessed the power and guile of both. This prehistoric predator was not your typical canine, standing nearly 3 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing up to 300 pounds. Its cranium was designed to crush bones, and its jaws were wider and more powerful than those of any surviving dog. They were capable of biting through the femur of a bison. This animal was not kept as a companion. This creature was the result of evolution and survival. Epicion's distinctiveness was not solely due to its girth. It was also due to its position in the evolutionary family tree. It is classified by scientists as a member of the Borophaginae subfamily, which is now extinct and is referred to as bone-crushing dogs. These were apex predators long before wolves assumed that role. For millions of years, they dominated the North American landscape, surpassing even the earliest bears and cats. Ipicion haydeni, the largest of the group, dominated the open plains with unparalleled vigor. Paleontologists were taken aback when they initially discovered its fossils in the Great Plains of Nebraska. The bones appeared to be a hybrid of a lion and a massive wolf with a broad cranium, a deep chest, and robust limbs. This was not a castaway. This hunter was designed to make a significant impact. However, what was the actual appearance of this primordial superdog in real life? A muscular, heavy-set animal with a broad cranium and a shorter muzzle than modern wolves is suggested by reconstruction studies. Its physique was probably a hybrid of a mastiff and a hyena, combining endurance with overwhelming force. The creature's biting force, which is estimated to be over 4,000 newtons, could be comparable to that of modern lions. Ipicion depended on raw force during a period in which the majority of predators employed stealth or speed. It did not pursue its prey over extended distances. Rather, it defeated it in brief, vicious encounters. Bison, horses, and even juvenile camels were permissible prey. It was unable to release its grip when it struck. The environment in which it resided was equally dramatic. During the Miocene epoch, North America was characterized by the expansion of grasslands and the openness of savannas. Horses and camels roamed openly in herds during the prehistoric period. The warm and arid climate was advantageous for organisms that could traverse extensive distances in quest of sustenance. Ipicion, the silent shadow of the plains, was also present among these cattle. It probably hunted in pairs or small packs, ambushing prey from concealment or waiting near waterholes. The entire group would rip through the cadaver, crushing bones to access the rich marrow within when a kill was made. This uncommon behavior distinguished them from the majority of predators of their era. However, the bone crushers' era ultimately concluded, despite their dominance. Ipicion disappeared from the fossil record approximately 5 million years ago as the climate began to change and new predators, such as the ancestors of modern wolves and large cats, emerged. Some scientists contend that it was a victim of specialization, as it was excessively enormous, slow, and dependent on large prey that were disappearing. Some contend that their demise was precipitated by competition from the more adaptive and faster canines. Regardless of the cause, the most exceptional creature to have ever lived simply vanished. However, not all individuals are persuaded that Ipicion has vanished. Stories of enormous dire wolves or devil dogs that early settlers and native tribes encountered are deeply embedded in the folklore of the American frontier. Stories of colossal, bone-crushing canines that prowled the prairies at night, their glowing eyes reflecting the moonlight. Although these stories are likely exaggerations that are based on fossil discoveries or the natural dread of wolves, some cryptozoologists have pondered the possibility that remnants of ancient bloodlines may have survived for a longer period than previously believed. Nature tends to conceal its mysteries, after all. The fossil gaps serve to elevate the enigma. The irregular distribution of Ipicion remains across the continent has been observed by researchers for decades. The majority of specimens are discovered in central regions, such as Nebraska, Kansas, and South Dakota. However, intriguing fragments have been discovered in Mexico and the southern US. These errant fossils elicit inquiries. Did the species migrate further than previously thought? Did isolated populations endure for an extended period, potentially until the onset of the Ice Age? Paleontologists and enthusiasts alike are intrigued by these possibilities. Comparing Epicyon haydeni to the largest contemporary canines, such as the Irish Wolfhound, Great Dane, or Tibetan Mastiff, the disparity is astounding. The largest of these could weigh up to 180 pounds. Epicyon may surpass 300. The size of its cranium was comparable to that of a bear. Although it was not domesticated, it possessed the same ancestral characteristics that are still evident in our pets, including loyalty to its group, territorial instinct, and cunning intelligence. It is captivating to consider that the creature that is presently curled at our feet has a distant ancestor with a predator that once dominated an entire continent. The narrative of Epicyon is haunting not only because of its size, but also because it represents the untamed potential of evolution and the way in which nature can create something extraordinary only to obliterate it. Each fossil discovered narrates a portion of its narrative, but it never provides the complete account. Epicyon's behavior as a solitary large cat or as a wolf remains a topic of debate among paleontologists. Some even contend that it may have been a combination of the two, opportunistic, pack hunting when necessary, and solitary when resources were scarce. This adaptability is what has sustained it for millions of years. Even the name Epicyon, which translates to more than dog, is an appropriate title for a creature that stretched the limits of what canines could become. It was not merely an oversized wolf. It was evolution's experiment in power and dominance. And for a limited period in prehistory, that experiment was remarkably successful. Until, like so many apex predators before and after, its reign concluded in silence. However, the most captivating aspect of the narrative may not be the fossils themselves, but rather the reflection they have on us. Giant animals have always captivated humans. The greater the size, the more impressive. However, there is something particularly poignant about this piece. Because within the genetic memory of each dog, from the smallest Chihuahua to the largest Mastiff, there is a faint reminder of that ancient predator. A memory of immense open plains, of hunts under the blazing sun, and of power and freedom that are beyond comprehension. Today, researchers are still discovering new remains and indications that help to fill in the gaps of Epicyon's existence. The discovery of each bone alters our preconceived notions, and although we may never witness one in person, the fossils that remain serve as a reminder that even the most formidable creatures are capable of succumbing to adversity, and that evolution is perpetually crafting new narratives, awaiting our discovery of the subsequent chapter concealed beneath the dust. Therefore, the query remains: what other giants are still waiting to be discovered beneath our feet if a creature such as Epicyon once walked the earth?